Hey, South Africans, stop scrolling for a second and listen up. Imagine a man standing tall in the heart of KwaZulu-Natal, staring down a pit of crime, corruption and betrayal and declaring, without a flicker of fear, I will die for this badge. I will die for them.
I'm a police officer who understood the task at hand when I joined the service. It was my resolve to make sure that I deal with criminals head on. Hence, I had chosen a career within the combating side of policing. That's what led me to work in the units that I worked for over time. Yes, I've been a provincial commissioner and I'm still a provincial commissioner, coordinating different types of policing operations in this province. And I've been involved with a lot of operations in the country in the past. But I understand that at this present moment, the war that we are facing is so serious that it deals with high-level senior officers within the criminal justice system. Therefore, it is important for us to go into a combat mode. It is important for me to make sure that I take on the enemy directly. So when you see me and you see this management and you understand that we have hard-working men and women, not only in KZN, but across the board in the country, who doesn't like crime, who doesn't like these criminals. I, fortunately, am a citizen in this country. My families are spread across different provinces. So it is my duty and the fellow police officers to protect them. So I'm not going to surrender their freedom. I'm not going to surrender their safety to anyone. So I will die for this badge. I will die for them. So I will fight this fight until the end. Wherever the end is, we will fight. We're not going to stop. We've got family members, brothers and sisters, we've got children that are exposed to drugs. This drug cartel, which includes a group in Gauteng that's operating in Gauteng as their headquarters, are importing these drugs from abroad, South America in the main, through this port of Durban amongst others, to Gauteng, and they process them in Gauteng, and from there they distribute this drug all over in the country as well as other countries. We've been involved with a lot of shooting incidents in KZN, especially at Tinanda. As we're engaging with these youngsters, we're doing analysis and we're realizing, yes, they might be ill-disciplined kids, but their behavior is encouraged by the substance that they take. It gives them courage to kill, it gives them courage to rape, it gives them courage to murder. And if we take away this substance, they will become good citizens. They will become good kids. So therefore, we need to get rid of drugs. Now we understand when we fight with the drug cartels that have controlled police generals, have controlled prosecution and judiciary, it's not going to be a small game. So unfortunately, some of us have to sacrifice. We've reached a stage where we are sacrificing for the good of the South Africans, for the children of South Africa, to be free from drugs. So I do hope that the authorities that have been briefed about this will take necessary action in dealing with it. As a police officer, I cannot turn a blind eye when I see a crime being committed. Yeah, well, the safety of South Africans is in jeopardy. At least Mkhwanazi still has a firearm. He still has a men and women that he works with. He can still somehow protect himself. There are men and women out there that are vulnerable. They've got no one to protect. So we can't be worried about our own safety. We must worry about the safety of the citizens. So ours is to go out there and lay our life to protect them. That is my only concern right now. Not about my safety. You know, everyone shall die. The time will come. If it comes, it comes. But if an enemy comes to you, attack the enemy. Don't allow the enemy to take advantage. You can't just lie with your arms in your hands like that. You have to fight. So that's what we are doing now in KZN, and we shall fight. And this fight is very big. So it needs people who are committed. People who are not worried. No, they're going to chase you. They're going to arrest you. Get out of that prison and fight. They're going to suspend, they're going to dismiss you, they can get you out of the police. When you're out of the police, join men and women in the private sector that are dedicated in dealing with this criminality and fight from outside. That's why we're calling on them to also join us to fight. That is not going to stop. So I'm not worried about my safety in as far as these investigations are concerned. I said I must ask one question at a time. What is the other one that was prefacing? Thank you so much, because you forgot as well.
That's not a line from a Hollywood script. That's Lieutenant General Ndlandla Mkhwanazi, the Provincial Commissioner of KZN, putting everything on the line for you, for me, for every single one of us who calls this beautiful, broken country home. This is a story that'll make your hope spark back to life. How often do you hear something like that from any top cop anywhere in the world? This God-sent man gives us every reason to keep believing, not just in humanity, but in the promise that South Africa can and will rise again. This is the moment for all South Africans to unite, heart, mind, and spirit, with this warrior of justice and take a stand to save our country from the grip of crime and those who thrive on it. So stick with me, because we're diving deep into why Mkhwanazi's courage is a blazing beacon in the darkness, and why now, more than ever, we must rally behind him. Let's get one thing straight. South Africa is bleeding. Crime stats don't lie, even if the ANC government wishes they did. In 2024 alone, the South African Police Service reported over 45,000 murders, 52,000 rapes, and a staggering 190,000 assaults with intent to cause grievous bodily harm. That's not just numbers, that's families torn apart, lives shattered, and communities living in fear. And who's at the helm of this mess? An ANC government that's been fumbling the ball for decades, letting corruption fester like an open wound. From state capture to dodgy tenders, from Zuma's Gupta saga to the current lot who can't seem to keep their hands clean, the rot runs deep. But in the middle of this chaos, you've got Mkhwanazi, a man who's not just talking the talk, but walking straight into the fire, ready to lay down his life to protect us from the drug cartels, the murderers, and the crooked politicians who've sold South Africa's soul for a quick buck. When Mkhwanazi stood before the press, his voice steady but burning with resolve, he didn't mince words. "I will die for this badge. I will die for them," he said, speaking of the South Africans he's sworn to protect. This wasn't some empty promise or a politician's soundbite. This was a man who's seen the worst of what this country's criminals can do. 612 case dockets of murders, attempted murders, and intimidation, with 436 suspects arrested and 128 convictions secured since 2018. That's the work of his political killings task team, a unit he's fought tooth and nail to keep alive, despite orders from higher-ups to shut it down. And why? Because he knows what's at stake. He's seen the drug cartels operating out of Gauteng, flooding our streets with poison from South America, turning our kids into addicts and killers. He's seen police generals, prosecutors, and even judges allegedly bought off by these syndicates. And yet, he's not backing down. That's the kind of courage that should make every South African sit up and take notice. Let's pause for a moment. When was the last time you heard someone in power say they'd die for you? Not for votes, not for fame, not for a fat paycheck, but for you, your safety, your future, your kids' chance at a life free from fear. That's what Mkhwanazi's offering. He's not just a cop. He's a warrior in a war most of us don't even realize we're fighting. And he's fighting it against odds that would make lesser men run for cover. The ANC's failure to tackle crime isn't just incompetence, it's a betrayal. They've let drug lords and syndicates infiltrate the very systems meant to protect us. Mkhwanazi's task team uncovered a syndicate in Gauteng involving politicians, police, prosecutors, and even members of the judiciary. And what did he get for it? A minister trying to disband his team, dockets yanked from his hands, and whispers of conspiracies to take him down. Yet, he stands firm, saying, "I'm not going to surrender their freedom." I'm not going to surrender their safety to anyone. That's not just bravery, that's a sacrifice that demands our respect, our gratitude, and our action. Why should we praise Mkhwanazi? For starters, he's a rare breed in a country where too many leaders are more interested in lining their pockets than serving the people. He's not chasing headlines or Instagram likes. He's out there, day after day, leading a team that's locked up 436 suspects and recovered 156 firearms, 55 of which were linked to political killings. That's not just paperwork, that's lives saved, justice served, and a message to criminals that someone's still fighting back. He's taken on drug cartels that have the audacity to operate from Gauteng, distributing their poison through Durban's ports and across our borders. He's exposed corruption that reaches the highest levels, even when it means putting a target on his own back, and he's done it all while knowing the system he's fighting for is riddled with traitors who'd rather see him fail than succeed. That's the kind of man we should be lifting up, not just in KZN, but across South Africa. But it's not just about what he's done, it's about what he represents. In a country where hope feels like a luxury we can't afford, Mkhwanazi is proof that all is not lost. He's a reminder that there are still people out there who believe in this nation, who believe in us, even when the ANC's mismanagement makes it feel like we're staring into the abyss. He's not fighting for glory or power, he's fighting because he knows that every drug bust, every arrest, every conviction pulls us back from the edge. He's fighting for the kids in Tembisa who deserve a future free from drugs. He's fighting for the families in Durban who shouldn't have to bury their loved ones because of gang violence. He's fighting for every South African who's sick and tired of living in fear, and he's willing to pay the ultimate price for it. That's not just sacrifice, that's a love for this country that should shame every corrupt official who's ever taken a bribe. So why does this matter to you? Because Mkhwanazi's fight isn't just his, it's ours. Every time he puts his life on the line, he's doing it for the 62 million of us who call South Africa home, but he can't do it alone. The ANC's failures have left us with a police service understaffed by 20,000 officers, a prosecution system overwhelmed by case backlogs, and a judiciary that's sometimes too cozy with the criminals it's meant to judge. Mkhwanazi's standing in the gap, but he needs us to stand with him. What's it going to take for you to say, enough is enough? Are you going to sit back while drug cartels turn our streets into war zones? Or are you going to raise your voice, demand accountability, and support the men and women like Mkhwanazi who are risking everything to save this country? Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the ANC. For 30 years, they've promised us a better life, but what have we got? A murder rate that's among the highest in the world, a police force stretched to breaking point, and a government that's more interested in protecting its cronies than its citizens. Mkhwanazi's task team was disbanded on the orders of a minister who's been caught in too many contradictions to be trusted. Dockets were pulled, investigations stalled, and the very people meant to uphold justice were allegedly cozying up to criminals. And yet, Mkhwanazi refuses to bow. He's calling out the rot, even when it means taking on the powerful. That's the kind of leadership we've been starved of, and it's high time we started demanding more of it. Here's a question for you. When did we stop expecting our leaders to be heroes? When did we decide it's okay for those in charge to duck and dive while men like Mkhwanazi put their lives on the line? He's not asking for medals or applause, he's asking for a chance to do his job. And he's asking us to back him up. Imagine what we could achieve if every South African stood behind him, demanding that the government stop protecting criminals and start protecting us. Imagine a South Africa where the police, the prosecutors and the judges work together to crush the syndicates, not enable them. That's the South Africa Mkhwanazi's fighting for, and it's a South Africa worth fighting for. Let's not kid ourselves, this fight's going to get ugly. Mkhwanazi's already got a target on his back. He's been threatened, undermined and targeted by those who'd rather see him silenced than succeed. But he's not backing down. And neither should we. Every time you hear about another murder, another drug bust gone wrong, another corrupt official walking free, remember Mkhwanazi's words. I will die for them. That's not just a promise. It's a challenge to every one of us to stand up, speak out, and fight back. We can't let him fight alone. We can't let the ANC's failures define our future. We can't let the criminals win. So, here's what I'm asking you to do, South Africa. Get angry. Get loud. Get involved. Share this story with everyone you know, your mates, your family, your colleagues. Let's make sure Mkhwanazi's sacrifice isn't forgotten in a news cycle. Demand answers from your MPs, your ministers, your premier. Ask them why a man who's willing to die for you is being hung out to dry by his own government. Hold them accountable for the 181 years of prison sentences Mkhwanazi's team secured, only to see their work sabotaged by those in power. And while you're at it, support the men and women in blue who are still out there, fighting the good fight despite the odds. Before I wrap up, let me ask you this. What's it going to take for you to join this fight? Are you going to wait until crime hits your doorstep? Or are you going to stand with Mkhwanazi now while there's still hope? This isn't just about one man, it's about the soul of our nation. We've got a chance to turn things around, to take back our streets, to build a South Africa where our kids can grow up safe. But it starts with us. It starts with you. If you're as fired up as I am, hit that subscribe button, give this a like, and share it far and wide. It costs you nothing, and it could change everything. Join the channel membership to keep this conversation going, or drop a super thanks to show your support. Let those ads play for at least 30 seconds. Every bit helps us keep shining a light on stories like Mkhwanazi's. And don't just sit there. Comment below. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you're going to do to back this hero. Let's make some noise, South Africa. Let's show Mkhwanazi he's not alone. Let's fight for the country we all deserve. Do it now.